Alright guys, it's Kieran Creates here, and I've been meaning to do manga review, and especially for mangas that are coming out as anime now. I've got four right now that I want to talk about. The rest haven't been seen on the list, so um, one's like Berserk. Uh, there was another one. I think it was called Drifters. Drifters is a comic where, or a manga where multiple characters from different points of time are sent in their near-death state into a world where fantasy and magic are real. And it's done with historical characters. So characters like Nobunaga is like a strong one in my mind right now. Uh, he's in there, and supposedly some other characters are in there, but I don't remember their names. It's been like 3 years since I've read the manga, um, but apparently it's being done by the same studio that did Hellsing. So I'm expecting. I heard a lot of good things about Hellsing. Never got to see it myself. I think I read like 3 chapters of it, and but the only part, anything I've seen of Hellsing is from the abridged series by Takahata 101 and Team 4 Star. So I don't know much about it. And well, let's get to the first manga. Okay, first one is Sosei Onmyoji. Now this one is about two characters that are supposed to get married, and eventually, I don't know if anyone has ever heard the name Abe no Seme. There's okay, Roko and Benio are supposed to be paired up their child will be born as Abe no Seme. The strongest exorcist or uh, high priest or some character along those lines, and what spoiler alert, one of the villains says you can't reincarnate someone who's not dead, which I'm like, but if you want to read the manga is up right here in the corner. It's not a link, but you can take and read it yourself. The manga reader I'm using is a, let's see, what's it called? Manga Zone. Now it's available, I think, in the App Store, but I think you're gonna have to download it straight off of Google. Not Google Play, but straight from its website. There's a little more I want to say about it. Let's see. If I were to give it a rating, I would give it about an 8 out of 10. That's my personal opinion. I'm not really used to rating mangas because I never really had anyone discuss manga with. So I'm hoping that one day, if this channel grows large enough, I can get other anime and manga readers to join in with their info, and hopefully we can collaborate with information. I do have a Skype. Just search for Curran. I'm sure you'll find it. Now, this next one is Boku no Hero no Akimidia. I probably butchered the last part of the name, but this one, if I were to give it a rating, it would be about a 9 out of 10. Now, what the main character has is he lacks any special ability, but he makes up for it with his knowledge of heroes. basically if basically he's like a thinker, but he doesn't have any power to do anything by himself. But with this is also going to have a spoiler alert. He gets help from the hero All Might, which is the main hero, which eventually becomes his teacher when he goes into the Hero Academy. Now, the Hero Academy is supposed to train kids in believing into justice. Basically, it's like a boot camp for heroes. It works the same way as any high school would, and the city itself is filled with superheroes. I think it's sort of like if we had just superheroes running around amok with no way of helping them, or they'll end up being discriminated, eventually turning into villains, then that would be a terrible thing. So, they created a city full of heroes that could be dispatched to any city that it needed. I think that's how the hero system works inside the manga. It only follows the roles of the students, though. Sometimes the students can go out and meet heroes. Like I said, 9 out of 10. And if I were to describe the main character, his nickname is Deku, which I think is supposed to be like a shrub. But anyway, on to the next one. Okay, I've meant to describe the character. He's like Tsunayoshi from Katekyo, Hitman Reborn, and Naruto. Naruto grew strong and started out with nothing. Now, on to the next one. I forgot how to pronounce the name, and I can't see the title well in the corner. But I'm just going to call it ReZero. Now, this one has two versions, like I've said in my previous anime manga review. The light novel version, which is what the source is for the anime, and it starts out with the first 3 deaths of the main character. The main character has an ability called, I think it's a proper version of revival, not like in Erased where he just goes back in time. I think if I were to explain it, he has a checkpoint, or in Erased, it's more like a save and load, or load a save file. He goes back in time, back to a previous save file, which is a previous time in his life, and I guess that's why they call it revival. But the main character in ReZero, his ability is that he can, if he dies, he goes back in time to when he first woke up. Now, it's a little difficult to describe what makes a checkpoint in the game, in the anime, or in the manga. The manga version takes place after all 3 deaths the first 3 times he died, in order to save a princess. Now, the manga version is where he goes and he spends time at the mansion with the princess, but every 4 days he dies and he doesn't know how. Every time he gets closer. Okay, now this last one. Netoge. All I know is that it's based off characters that meet, people that meet in the game and try to meet in real life. The main character meets a girl, but turns out to be a guy playing as a girl. So he was so in love with the girl, seeing the girl as the character as a girl, that he fell in love. But when he was shot, he was traumatized at the fact that it was actually a guy behind a female face, which is kind of terrifying. I mean, you dated a girl and all of a sudden she's got a dick. Pretty sure that's. So he meet another girl proposes to him in the game, but she ends up turning out to be a real girl, and she meets him in real life, and explain to her that being married in a game is not the same as being married in real life, which she can't differentiate reality from the video game. So she just goes by her rules of the video game. How she sees the game, she sees real life as, which ends up being wacky slapstick comedy where he's trying to convince her that the rules of the game don't apply to the real world. So, and also there are two other classmates that are also girls that play as guys. So there's some comedy where there's a popular girl who doesn't want to be known as an otaku because she plays games and she knows a lot about anime and whatnot. So she tries to keep a low profile with that, which I thought was really hilarious. Then there's the one of the other characters who's the class president, female class president, and she also plays as a guy, but then his outlook on them changed, and his friends that play games grows, and they're in a guild together. So that's the only spoiler information I can give you. It's not a lot of information to go on, but I gotta say, each one of these animes have a funny aspect to it. I don't think Re:Zero has a very funny aspect to it, because it takes the tension of, you know what's going to happen, and it's if you can prevent it from happening. Not like the viewers can choose what path the character goes down. But I did like these. There were more that I wanted to see previews for, like Berserk, like I said before, Drifters. There were a few. I already finished watching God Eater. The last episode came out a couple days ago. There was a manga of that, but the chapters weren't coming out as much as I wanted them to, so I read everything online. So I don't have physical copies of any manga or any Korean manga. There are Korean and Chinese mangas. They follow the English. They follow comic book reading pattern. Some of them follow the Japanese manga pattern of reading right to left or left to right. Most Chinese do the left to right thing. Some Korean mangas do the right to left thing as the Japanese would. And I think that's about it. It's almost time for me to end the video, but if you liked the video, please comment down below. I've noticed I've been getting a lot more views lately. I have so far, I think, 7 subscribers. Want to thank you guys for watching. If you've watched all the way to the end, thanks. And hopefully I can expand this range of, well, I think in a previous video I called everyone Kuranites. The thought came from Mennonite being banned from Smash Brothers, which I think that was only in Brawl. I think it might be in, I haven't played online for a while, in Smash Brothers. I was never really good at it. Alright, well, again, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you don't like it, that gives me a hint of what I need to do. A comment will help me figure out what I should do. Alright, well, getting close to 15 minutes. Thank you all for watching. Bye.